Hey guys, it's Clay, CPAP My Way, cpapmyway.com. Today I am here to introduce you to the Luna TravelPAP, Travel CPAP from React Health 3B. It is the latest addition to the travel CPAP market, and so I'm going to break it down for you here a little bit. In the video, we're going to discuss size, specifications, dimensions, electrical stuff, all the things you need to know if it'll fit your life physically, how to unpack it, what parts come with it, setup, operation. Then we're going to jump into maintenance, which is real simple, and I'm going to try it on, show you how it runs, and then I'll give you that full breakdown of my thoughts after we've run through everything. As always, I really appreciate that thumbs up if you like the information. Comment with any questions or concerns or things we might could unpack further for you. There's going to be links to the details of this in the description below. We may even put some coupon codes in there to help out. Additionally, after we get this up, we're going to get up a use trial video with Caitlin. She's going to run through her using it as well as what she thought about using it while she's traveling. So look forward to that video as well coming up. So let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, so the first thing we're going to just start off with here is that it's a small unit. It's only 6.26 inches long, 2.6 inches deep, and 2.8 inches tall. So it really doesn't take up a whole lot of space. Pretty unique look. You'll see on one end you've got your air outlet, on the other end you've got your air intake where the filter is. I'll show you that a little more detail here in a minute. The unit only weighs 0.88 pounds, so less than a pound. I think that's actually like 14 ounces, something like that. It runs on 110 electricity. The converter that comes with it will run from 100 volts to 240, so you can use it overseas as long as you have the adapter for the plug over there. It makes about 30 decibels. It's kind of right there in line with the rest of the machines as far as noise level. It does feature Bluetooth connectivity, which is cool, and the app is pretty user-friendly. I'll jump into that a little later in the video as well. 2-year warranty, so it is built to last. It's got the same warranty as most home CPAPs do. And your tube connection point is just standard 22 millimeter on this particular device. All right, so let's go over what comes with the unit. In the box, you're going to have a standard slim tube, so that's a 15 millimeter diameter but 22 millimeter connection point tube. You're going to have your AC power supply, right? So that'll plug in there. And you're going to have an extra pack of filters here. It'll come with one filter pre-installed, so you don't have to worry about unpacking those, just kind of save them for later. Now, as far as setting it up, the first thing you'll want to do is find the side of your Luna TravelPAP that has the tube connection, and that is where you will connect one end of your standard CPAP tube. The nice thing about that is obviously you can get these kind of tubes just about anywhere. On the other end, you'll want to pull the little filter cap, make sure that there's a little white filter in there. If not, grab one out, put it in. It just slips right back into place there, snaps in and out really simply, so not a whole lot there as far as release goes. You just got to make sure that it pops into place. Then obviously you're going to connect your AC power supply, which plugs in just below the tube right there. So they're both in at the same little spot. For demo's sake, I'm going to use this portable outlet here. Okay. And then obviously you would connect your mask. For the sake of the video, I'm going to try on the new F40 here that we've just brought on board. Before we get to that part though, just a quick little reference on maintenance. This thing is super easy to maintain. They say keep it wiped clean with a damp cloth, especially this little grate right here. Obviously if you keep the filter clean, that's important, which I'll show you in a second here. But you've also got to keep the intake holes clean here. So damp cloth, wipe the dust off. Check the filter once a week of use. Right inside here there's a little white disposable filter. It just sits into place in the little filter housing there. If you lose your filter housing, we do have extras of those and they're available separate. There'll be a link for that in the video as well. Once you put your filter in there, just snap it right back into place on the other side of your machine. And that's really it for maintenance. There's not a whole lot more to it. It is really that simple. All right, so let's fire this thing up and I'll show you what it sounds like when it's actually running. For the demonstration, like I said here, we're going to use this F40, which is a new mask that's out. This F40 is a medium. One thing I will tell you is the auto on feature for this particular device is actually very sensitive. So like you take a couple of breaths and this thing typically kicks right on. So all right, so that's the machine running. When you first turn it off, you'll notice, you're not gonna be able to hear it on here, but there's still a little bit of air coming out for like about 10 or 15 seconds. It's like a little cool down that it runs through. So it will kind of throw you off sometimes when you first turn the unit off. Air will still be flowing through. That's okay. It'll stop after 10 or 15 seconds. In the times that I've tried it, it was a pretty quick little shutdown. But it's not an excessively loud machine. It's certainly going to be a little louder than the home units. There's no insulation on these little things, right? It's just really just a little blower motor connected to a CPAP tube. So you're going to hear the motor a little bit more than you would with the home unit because there's less sound dampening insulation. But all in all, it's actually a pretty quiet little unit. In fact, I'll grab a decibel meter here, kind of give you an idea of what it sounds like from the mask and the machine real quick. All right, our ambient noise here is like low 30s, so we'll just use that as the baseline. Try this thing back on. Obviously you saw me hit the off button there, but there's a little, it's not really a button, it's just a little icon. That is your on and off. And over here you're gonna have a Bluetooth button. I'm gonna do a separate video on how to link it up to your smartphone via the app that is available for it. And I'll show you how quickly. It's very, very simple to link. And we'll also have a clinical settings menu navigation on there as well. As far as my thoughts on the particular device, this particular unit looks very different, right? It almost has like I've said, like a Bluetooth speaker look, or maybe like a sound machine look for your nightstand. My wife is certainly one of those that when she is done with the CPAP in the morning, she puts her whole tube and everything away just so that her nightstand looks a little more presentable. This definitely gives you a nicer look to the nightstand because it's not a big medical piece of equipment looking. So that's a cool feature about it. As far as sound wise, it's really not a whole lot louder than any of the others. I would say it's kind of like in the moderate range there on the sound level. It's not as quiet as the quietest, but it's not as loud as the loudest. You'll see on the decibel meter there when I wasn't breathing hard on it, it was like mid 30s, upper 30s on the decibel reading. Obviously with the air movement and me breathing on it, it could jump a little bit higher, but that's, you know, to be expected. One of the things I really liked was the app. The Light Trip app is what it's called. It connected really, really easily. It was very user-friendly. You could run the machine from the app. The clinical menu navigation was super easy for setting the machine. I really like that a lot. Some of the other travel CPAPs are very difficult to link, and they're very difficult to keep linked. So this one is definitely a little bit better than most. The other thing that's really nice about it is how simple it is. Very easy to get to the filter as far as maintenance goes, and the auto on feature was so user friendly. I don't think that you'll even use the on and off button as far as turning your machine on when you first get it all set up. And as far as things go for connecting your CPAP tubing, couldn't be any simpler there either, right? It's a standard 22mm tube, so you'll never be high and dry because you didn't have the appropriate tubing that's specific for your travel CPAP. Some of the other models do require specific tubing. And then, like I said, I really just appreciate the new look of it. It's a cool looking device. It's definitely a departure from a medical piece of equipment on your nightstand. The things that I would kind of say are a shortcoming is that there aren't any accessories available. Most of these have a battery available. For this demonstration, I actually use the portable outlet, which does pair nicely with it. It's a universal CPAP battery, but it doesn't have anything specifically designed for it to fit together, at least not yet. When they do, obviously we would we'll update this, but currently nothing like that. It does have a DC cord where you can run it from a car, which is kind of cool, but outside of that, nothing in particular that makes it the accessories unique for this particular machine. The other thing I'm not a huge fan of, and this isn't just for the TravelPAP here, is when the tube and the cord are plugged in on the same side. It just makes for a really weird setup on your nightstand. You know, like you got a cord coming around to the front, you got your tube coming off, next thing you know, you've just kind of got stuff everywhere. Obviously this isn't the only unit like that. I think the Z2 and the Air Mini both have connections in that manner, and I don't really know. There must be something to the design that makes it kind of a necessity, I guess, but I don't like it. The other thing that is a bit of a shortcoming is there's no heated humidifier option to this at all. That's also something that's really a downfall to all the travel CPAPs that are available right now. The only one that had a nice heated humidifier was the DreamStation Go, and that one's currently not on the market. So it's not something that I would consider a major con, because it's really the same for all travel CPAPs. There is no heated humidifier. You'll have to use a generic HME if you need humidity while on the road. And the last thing I'll say as a con on this is also a generic con for all travel CPAPs. There's no BiPAP. This will do CPAP or auto CPAP, and that's it. So if you're on a BiPAP setting, you're not going to be able to use this device or any other travel CPAP for that matter. Overall, we're really excited about it. It's always cool to demo and put out a new product. As I said, Caitlin will be doing a demo on it as well, actually in use. She'll use it all night. We'll get some feedback from her. I'll obviously be the bed partner, so I'm a light sleeper. I'll give you some feedback on how it was for me sleeping next to her all night with it. We're actually going to be doing that tonight, so I should have that video put together pretty quick as well. And then I'm also going to do another video. You'll be able to find the links to the rest of these videos, hopefully at the end of this video or in the description below, showing you the app and showing you the clinical adjustments for all of you clinicians out there that'll need to know how to adjust these things. So we hope you enjoyed the information. We hope you enjoyed the Luna TravelPAP. Links are in the descriptions to all the details, especially the unit. And we really appreciate you watching. Thanks.